Hey everybody, Mario here, otherwise known as White Troll on the interwebs, and welcome to another edition of the 52 Review. I've got 4 comics that I picked up this week, and I'm going to talk about them in a sec. But first, just a quick happy announcement. For the month of January, in the top 100 best-selling comics of January, DC has swept the top 10 list. That's right, everything you could possibly think of that would belong in that top 10 made the top 10. So yeah, well done, DC. It just goes to show you that individual stories beat out the 11 billion money-making crossovers that Marvel bust out. Don't confuse my bashing of Marvel with me hating Marvel. I actually used to be a true believer, till I took an arrow to the knee. I'm totally regretting saying that the moment it came out of my mouth. And I'm sorry. At any rate though, this is pretty good news, and it just goes to show you that the New 52 for the most part is doing really well. Alright, let's get started with Red Lanterns number 6. Red Lanterns. Picture it as a train that's chugging at full speed. It took off in the first 3 issues, is maintaining momentum. It hits a little bit of a bump in issue 4, but hey, it's still going. And then 5 and this issue came out, and we're starting to get signs that it's losing some serious steam. Alright, so this Red Lantern Civil War that really is still going on. I mean, it's not really a civil war if everyone else except 2 people are standing there and going, "Oh man, this is totally intense. Oh, I hope Bleeze doesn't get her ass kicked too much." Oh, and finally, we have the human Red Lantern that finally happened. Don't know what's gonna happen yet. Don't let the cover fool you, because he never even goes and faces Atrocitus at all. Maybe next issue, but nothing really happens here. Rancor here going, I'm angry now. Oh my gosh. 1 minute I was not angry, now I am angry. Acid. Nothing gets addressed here. I mean, we don't know what happened to Krona. Will we see him again? Was it a figment of Atrocitus' imagination? Did Bleeze or someone else steal the body? Who knows, because it doesn't get addressed in this issue, and it doesn't look like it's going to get addressed anytime soon. Where's the plot? Where's the story? Where are we going with this series in general? I really am pretty disappointed here, because I was really defending this series. I was really trying to justify it being around. But now it seems like they don't even know where they're going to go. And that's exactly what I was trying to argue against a few reviews back. I really hope this series gets in gear, finds its course, and goes and stays there. I really want to see what becomes of this series. It's a really good series, has plenty of potential, and I really don't want to see it just go to waste or implode from within. Next up is Justice League International number 6. This has to be like the little series that could. I mean, I really didn't expect anything from JLI in the beginning, but this has actually become a rather decent series to read. Everything just came together, and even characters that I didn't really care about, like Booster Gold or Guy Gardner, they're actually pretty likable, and they're the ones that have the most character. And 9 times out of 10, they'll be the ones you root for the most. As for the others, they're starting to shine at last. It only took like about 6 issues, but I'm so glad that they are finally making themselves known in the team, considering that they are, the rest of the team. Also, one thing that there is no way in hell you can miss in this issue: terrorists, bombs. It's like, who the hell wrote this issue? The Mad Bomber or something? I mean, I was kind of almost expecting like a slapstick thing where like they're sitting in a chair and it's a bomb, and then when they jump and swing through a rope, the rope's a bomb, and that's a bomb, and this is a bomb. We get it. Terrorist bombs are bad. Got it. File, save. Got it. But beside that little tiny gripe, we get a few insights into a couple of the characters, and considering how the cliffhanger was, maybe that came a little too late. We'll just have to wait and see in issue 7. It's a pretty solid issue, and it certainly had more of a plot than Red Lanterns. 6 felt like a little bit of a lull, but that's to be expected while they transition into the next storyline. Can't wait to pick up issue 7. Should be pretty cool. Next up is Detective Comics number 6. Look, Tony Daniel. There's this thing called pacing. It's a delicate thing. It's a delicate concept, because if you pace yourself too much, you're going to lose us if the story jumps around. But at the same time, if you go too slowly, you're just going to bore us to death. It's a delicate balance, I realize, and it's not something that it can be easily achieved, but my goodness, can you like slow it down a bit. I mean, this issue, it was going here, there, everywhere, and not a single effing clue as to what was going on. I didn't have not a one. All I know is that something involving the Penguin, a chick with an eye patch, and a face-changing dude. What this has to do with anything? I don't know. How Batman is involved? Well, we kind of get an explanation, but not a really good one. How things will play out? Who can say? They try to explain some things, but at the same time, they almost explain nothing else. They give us 20% explanation, and the rest we're in the complete dark about. Also, what is up with showing the Penguin as like this big bad? He never once gets tangled up with Batman, and they only show him in like maybe 3 pages. Don't get me wrong though, this was not as bad as the piece of garbage that was issue 5, but at the same time, I'm kind of wondering, well, what the hell? Are you guys going to do what you guys did in the last story arc that inadvertently ended on us, and just like make a plot and then forget about it and then move on to the next one? Because, you know, that's not how good stories are written. This series was actually one of my favorite Bat series out there, and it's just really sad that it's losing steam, especially since it started off with such a bang. I really hope that the guys behind Detective Comics get their act together and turn the ship around, man, and just start regaining the momentum that is starting to get lost pretty badly. And of course, no contest, hands down, easiest pick for favorite comic of this edition of the 52 review, Action Comics number 5. Grant Morrison took a bit of a gamble here. The fact that he basically took a break from the intense story arc that was going on from issues 1 through 4, and having this other storyline happening at the same time in issue 5 and in this issue, well, it could have confused the hell out of a lot of people. And I'm pretty sure there's a small minority that are confused. But unlike certain other comics, whose pacing goes along so fast you get lost along the way, the pacing here was at a good, well, pace. I actually understood what was happening. Was the whole thing with the Legion of Superheroes and the future/present Superman necessary? Probably not, but we got a crap load, and I mean a crap load of insight behind Superman as a character, how his past was, the whole time he spent with Ma and Pa Kent, how he got inspired to do good and become the Superman that we all sort of know and love. The story itself with the Legion wasn't actually bad. It was actually pretty good. We got a few questions, but not so much that it'll leave us pissed off. This run of Action Comics, this Grant Morrison run, is definitely one of the best, and it is definitely Superman done right. Unlike another Superman comic, this is Superman done wrong. Superman done right, Superman done wrong. It was pretty much an easy choice for me. This was the highlight comic of this edition of the 52 review. I highly recommend this one. This is another one of my top 6. I hope you guys get an idea of what my top 6 is. This is one of them. And this is something that you should not be without. Doesn't matter if you're a Superman fan, a DC fan, or a fan of comics in general, this is one that you should check out. It is really a good one. And unlike other backup stories, the backup here actually makes sense and fits in with the main storyline. And it was equally as enjoyable. And I gotta tell you, it warmed my heart a little bit. Pick this up. Alright guys, that does it for now. As always, if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, whatever, put them down at the commentary plot. I will read them, and I will get back to you. As always, I ask that you continue to live nerdcore. Y2M out.